Chapter 4. This room smells different. When I went to breakfast this morning, one of the things I planned to complain about to the owner was the strong mold odor coming from the bathroom. But I didn't get the chance to mention it because he was acting hostile towards me. Now the smell is gone, replaced by a strong scent of incense, I think. I can't really explain why or how, but I feel like someone was in here when I was out. The room has been tidied and the bathroom mopped, but I've slept in many hotels, and I know for sure that the cleaning staff coming in while you're out doesn't end with you feeling like they've left a part of themselves behind. Anyway, it's afternoon and Booking.com clearly stated that this is a bed and breakfast, so the owner has no obligation to be in my presence except for the day I check in and to serve me breakfast every morning I wake up here. That means I can't call him for anything unless the room gets flooded or I get robbed and stuff like that. I'm still freaked out by that Jumanji character, but at least I have the club sandwich to be excited about. I'll lie in bed and watch some TV while I eat. As I place my takeaway container on the pedestal, I notice something. A Bible and a wooden cross placed on top of it. I know very well this wasn't here when I left. I look across the room and behind the door is a large smear of black ash, I think, forming a large cross. As to what in the name of religious cult is going on here, I do not know. There's the same large ash cross across the bathroom door, and, as if that's not enough, the bathroom window has been painted black. It wasn't painted when I left this morning, and this is freaking me out. It's at this moment that I realize I have nobody to call. My crazy sister died, and my grandmother is dead. They're the only family I've ever had. I want to ask grandmother about the rest of our family, and she said there was none. She said her own mother died when she was a toddler, and that her mother's best friend, whom she met at the mining town, raised her like her own child. Both of them knew nothing about my great-grandmother's origins. She died before she was ready to talk about where she came from. Maybe if I had a man. But nope, I'm not even going to go there. I try to open the window, but it doesn't budge. It's as if it's been locked from the outside. Fuck B&B rules. I'm calling the owner. His phone is off and I have no energy to leave the room to look for him. Besides, whatever voodoo he performed in this room while I was away won't affect me because I don't believe in that kind of stuff. This is his house, but this is a room I paid for, so I deserve full respect and privacy. When I write that review after I check out, he will not know it hit him. I will drag this place and his poor service to the bottom of a smelly, frog-infested swamp. I spray my perfume all over the room with some hope that it will kill the smell of incense. It does for a few minutes, long enough for me to eat half of my sandwich without feeling like some polluted air is blowing into my mouth. I can't eat the rest of it now, so I put the half in the small bar fridge and turn the air conditioner on. It doesn't matter that I'll start freezing in the next 5 minutes. Rather that than this awful smell. I bought my laptop because in the midst of all this, I have to start applying for jobs. 6 months away from corporate is long enough for employers to start thinking you aren't employable anymore. I've decided that going back to my old job is not an option now. I resigned when they needed me most, so now I have to kneel before their competitors and beg them to take me in. I could have been a doctor like my grandmother and every other grandparent in the world wants their grandchild to be. But instead, I went and studied environmental science. A career that people generally find uninteresting because why would any sane person take pride in informing the world that throwing filth in rivers and polluting the air might kill us all in the next 2 decades? It's a boring job. That's what my last official boyfriend said before I ghosted him. I think he got really freaked out by my grandmother's attitude when I brought him home with me that one weekend. I think, and I might be wrong, that it made my grandmother a bit anxious to see me morphing into my own person and growing up to find a somewhat normal path. A part of me understood, though. Her daughter had 2 kids very young and then died. Her first grandchild went crazy and then died without ever leaving her house. And here I was, being as normal as I could be and doing all the things those 2 never got to do. They were hers, the insolent daughter and the crazy granddaughter. They belonged to her until the day they died. Me, on the other hand, I definitely have my own troubles, but they aren't as bad as she must have expected them to be. I'm a functional adult, but I struggle to push things to the back of my mind, and that is why I have, for the last 8 minutes, been Googling a word that I clearly do not know the spelling of, because nothing that makes any sense has come up. The word does not exist in my vocabulary. That's if I have any vocabulary to begin with, because I do not know which language is supposed to be my native tongue. I do not know which tribe or clan or whatever they call it my surname, Zenge, belongs to. My first name doesn't help either because being named Charlotte is the furthest of all furthers from any black person's true identity. It's funny that he's the first person that comes to mind when he's the last person I want to communicate with. He's that guy. The guy that every woman has in their life. The one you know would give you the world if you asked for it, but somehow your heart just intensely rejects him. He will always take your call, even if it's at 1 a.m., and will always move mountains for you, but your heart won't have none of him. Charlotte, are you okay? I wanted to come to your grandmother's funeral, but you ignored all my messages. I did. I didn't want him there. I'm sorry, I didn't see your messages. I was going through the most. I saw all the messages and I ignored all of them. Where are you now? Are you back in Joburg? I wish I was. No, I have some things to take care of first. Look, I need your help with something. This might sound strange, but I need a definition of a word. It sounds goony, so I thought you might know it. What does the word isithunzela mean? Isithunzela? As in a zombie? Or a ghost, or... It has multiple meanings, but they all mean something that is not alive. Well, that's beyond strange. Why? What's happening? Why are you asking me that? He never takes anything lightly, and that is why he and I can never be what he wants us to be. Nothing, it's just a word I was confused about in the book I'm reading. I lie. I need to end this phone call now. Where are you? I can come to you if you need me. I'm fine, Mzolisi. I'll see you when I'm back in Joburg. I'll call you. Are you sure? You don't sound... Lord... I'm fine. I'll call you, I say before I hang up. He's so overbearing, but for some selfish reason, I cannot let him go. He's the one person, besides my grandmother, that I know genuinely cares about me. I don't even know why, because he surely must understand that my attitude towards him is reject unless I need you for something. It is definitely in character that he would know what the word means. A guy from Gqeberha who went to the mountains to have his foreskin cut would definitely know what the word means. That being said, the sooner I get that house sorted and sold, the better. I'll get out of the deer and never come back to the likes of Crazy Jumanji and everyone else that has made the past 2 days here unpleasant. They have no business being polite to him and letting him hang outside the farm stall if his hobby is screaming zombie at their customers. But then again, small town people do not believe in boundaries. I know this because despite my dangerous sister's insanity, people would still want to come to our house back in Cullinan. That's why our gate was always locked with a chain and a padlock. Twing, twing. 7 a.m. She'll meet you on the road before you reach the farm store. She'll come with her cousin to help her because the house is big. They want 1,000 rand each. I'm still trying to get the others. I'm struggling here, but I know a few Zimbabweans who won't mind because they don't know. It's a text from that young man from the farm store. Cleaning ladies at the robots usually charge 300 to 350 rand a day for a house like that. So what is he talking about? And it's always foreigners, so what does he mean, 1,000 rand? The last part of his message is confusing, so I call him instead of texting back. He doesn't answer his phone. It's frustrating. Twing, twing. 1,000 rand. Each person. That's not the usual price, Kutulo. He never told me his name, but that's what his name badge said. I will not be scammed just because I'm not from around here. Twing, twing. Elsie, I'm at work, so I can't answer the phone. That's what my girlfriend and her cousin are asking for. The plumber and electrician will ask for more. That's if I find anyone who will agree to come to that house. I call again. He doesn't answer. It's 8 p.m. and unless he has another job, there is no way he's still at that farm store packing shelves. And what does he mean if he finds someone who will agree? It's not like there are jobs lying around here. Twing, twing. I'll pay them 800 rand each. I text. It is way too much from what I'm used to, but I'm not a bad person. Dust and spiderweb and scary floors and roofs of an abandoned house aren't worth little money. He doesn't text back and I'm getting frustrated. When he hasn't texted back after 20 minutes, I fold. Twing, twing. Okay, 1,000 rand each. I feel like I'm being scammed. Twing, twing. Great. They'll meet you on the road. You can't go to the farm store after you pick them up, so bring your own food. What's with the instructions? I text okay and go back to my laptop. There are plenty of jobs in my field, but I can't remember the last time I updated my CV. If I'm going to get the position and package I deserve, I'm going to have to update it. But right now is not the time. I have too much going on in my head, so I close the tab and check Facebook. At my old job, One of my former colleagues, whose brand is being a conspiracy theorist, would out of the blue blurt out things like, "The internet is spying on us." It was funny and crazy at the same time. I'm reminded of her because the first thing that pops up when I open my Facebook is an advert about a farmer's market in De Deer. Earlier, I asked Google where I could find fast food outlets in De Deer, so Google obviously told Facebook about that. The market is not the only thing that pops up though. There's another click on the link thing about the little town in the middle of nowhere in South Africa. I click on the link because evidently I have no self-control. It takes me to a video of some young girl, clearly one of those Gen Z aliens judging by her vocabulary. I'm young. I was born in 1996, but even I cannot understand half of what these strange people born after the year 2000 are saying half of the time. Child. My Oma swears this shit is real. Oma means grandma, by the way. Like, lights would come on in that house at exactly the same time every evening. And sometimes people from other houses would hear loud cartoon noises coming from the house, and they were sure nobody lived there, she says and rolls her eyes. Weird, right? And then she told me this one time that someone in the community went there one morning and cut the electricity supply to the house. So now, none of that happens, but still, nobody goes to that house. She tells the story with so much passion, and I'm always like, Oma, please. Y'all make up stories because nothing ever happens in that creepy town. The video is long, and I don't have that much attention span tonight. Too much has happened. But I do click on her profile and check her other videos. She lives in Australia. Her parents emigrated when she was 8 years old, but they all come back to see her grandparents every once a year. There's a video where they are here at that farm store, and she's talking about how her great-great-grandfather started it almost a century ago, and how it has been a family business passed from generation to generation ever since. She has her grandmother in the video, and yes, it's the old chatty woman I found the first time I went to the shop. I catch a glimpse of the woman I found in the shop this morning. She smiles at the camera and waves her hand dismissively before it moves outside. And this is Jumanji. He's been a part of this town since I was a child. He sits outside the store all day, and Oma makes sure he gets a meal every day, she says, and aims the camera at Jumanji's face. In there. Under the cabinet, down there. There, down there. That's what Jumanji says to the camera. But the girl giggles and moves her camera to show the empty space around the shop. He's been saying the same thing every day since I was a child. But he's special, and everyone in this town takes care of him. So, as you can see, this is the middle of nowhere, and I think this is why my parents packed and moved to Australia, she says. The video ends there. I scrolled through her page looking for more videos, but the rest of them are about her great life in Australia. She even has the accent. I'm done and ready to sleep when I hear footsteps outside my room and smell the same scent of sage coming in through the bathroom window. 2 women with buckets and mops, one with a broom over her shoulder, are standing on the side of the road some meters away from the farm store. They flag my car as I approach. I wanted someone to clean the house, but it never occurred to me to buy cleaning stuff. They must have thought about that. That's why they bought their own. They look young, early 20s or so, but I'm 27 and I don't think I should be looking at anyone under 30 as younger than me. Sissy, the one with the pixie wig, says as they both settle on the back seat and place their buckets at their feet. I would have preferred one of them to sit at the front with me, but well, I'm not about to be that demanding. When I went to the dining room this morning, I found a plate of breakfast on the table, covered with another plate. There was no fresh juice, just 2 cans of fizzy drinks and a bottle of water. As I ate, I expected the owner to appear from the back so I could ask him about all that strange stuff in my room. He didn't show up, and having the blue house cleaned is more important right now than my rights to proper customer service. I'm Charlotte, I say to the 2 ladies who have been quiet since we turned on the gravel road. For a moment, they seem like one is waiting for the other to speak first. Okay, one of them says nervously. No names given to me. I'm going to respect that for now because the truth is I'm desperate for their services, which is why I'm forced to pay exorbitant amounts. This gate. I need someone to come here and install a new one. Actually, the whole fence. A brick one, because this one is a wire fence and it's all rusted. As I unlock the door, I immediately think about that little menace and how she threw that stuffed animal at me. I think I remember putting it on the coffee table when I was leaving yesterday, but it's not here now. Whatever, maybe I left it somewhere else. The ladies stand at the door as I proceed inside. The bald-headed one looks shaken, but the other one nudges her and whispers something I do not hear. They walk in slowly, looking around the dining and sitting room like they are walking into a forbidden place. I think it's better to start with the bedrooms, especially the main one, because it has more clutter and dust, I say. They seem more comfortable standing there, adjacent to the open front door, instead of coming deeper inside the house. So now I'm standing here, looking at them with my hands on my hips. Is there a problem? I ask, because I'm really confused by their behavior. It's just that The bald-headed one nudges her to stop talking. Again. No, there is no problem. It's just that we thought the house was smaller than this, she says, taking a few steps forward, awkwardly so. They'd better not ask me for more money because I clarified from the beginning that the house has 4 bedrooms and 3 other rooms. I'm not even sure which one of them is Kutulo's girlfriend, but I assume it's the bald-headed one, judging by how she seems to be the one in control. I've been here twice, and even though I didn't do anything, the doors don't creak as much as they did on the first day. Let's leave all the doors open, including the back door, the bald one says, pointing at the kitchen door. For air to come in, she adds quickly. Makes sense. I open it and walk out the front yard, expecting the little girl to appear any time. She doesn't. I look to the house across, hoping to spot her among the kids playing, but I can't. There's too many of them running around. They should be at school for sure, but I guess social workers don't come to these parts of the country. That's why these kids haven't been removed from their parents. I go back inside the house and find them standing still in the main bedroom. They haven't touched anything. I don't think anything inside the wardrobes is useful. You can throw them outside. Also, I think it's better if each person cleans one room. That'll make it quicker, I say. If they don't finish today and have to come back tomorrow again, that's more money out of my pocket. One of my friends in varsity always accused me of being stingy, but I'm not. I just know how to handle money, a self-taught skill I'm very proud of. They look at each other, and there's that nervous look on their faces again. It's fine. Working like this will be quicker. I shrug because what do I know about cleaning houses anyway? My grandmother never made me do any chores except washing dishes after supper and washing my own underwear. You didn't tell me your names. They look at each other again. I'm Dineo, she's Norma. At least I won't have to describe them by their hairstyles anymore. After seconds of silence and me staring at them with a questioning look, they start moving. Norma opens the wardrobe while Dineo flips the mattress. I'm going to sit in the car and check if I have any emails. That's if there is internet signal, because in the past 2 days, it has been a struggle. It is as bad as I expected. I end up watching a crime series I downloaded a week ago, but at the back of my mind I keep expecting the little girl to walk through the gate. She doesn't. The pile of drawings she gave me yesterday are stashed in the cabiole. I forgot to take them inside with me when I arrived back at the B&B yesterday. The series is not taking my mind off things, so I pull them out to go through the whole pile. There's about 30 of them, and they are all equally bad. It's animals mostly, but they all look like they were drawn by someone who has never seen them live. Even the one that looks like it could be a dog is completely inaccurate. The dog has a tail so long it's resting on the ground. The dog is colored purple, and I would laugh if it wasn't so cute. But kids are like that, imaginative. The one I find at almost the end of the pile is different. I figure whoever drew it was trying to capture 3 people, 3 girls, judging by the pink skirts, which are, by the way, triangles. There's a taller one and 2 who are almost the same height. On top of the tallest one, it is written Sisi. The next one has me on top, and the shortest one, only by an inch though, has girly over it. They are standing on what looks like stairs leading somewhere. I'd say maybe the girls used to live here, but there are no stairs here. This house is a 1-story building. Sisi? It's Dineo, standing at my car window. I roll it down and ask her what's happening. There's no water for mopping the floors. Shit, how did I forget about that? This house has no running water, understandably. My only 2 options are to either go to the neighbors to ask for at least 2 buckets of water, or to go to town and buy multiple bottles. I forgot about that, I say, clenching my teeth. I'll drive to the store and buy as many bottles as I can find. The panic on her face is on impulse, but she flips into a brief smile very quickly. No, don't worry about it. You don't have to go anywhere. Kutulo is sending someone with 3 25 liters of water. I've already called him. Oh well, then that's good. I'm about to thank her, but she rushes off back to the house before I can speak. Tomorrow I have to go to the municipal offices with all the documents my grandmother left. She didn't exactly give them to me herself. 2 days after the funeral, I got a call from a lawyer asking me to come to his office. I was shocked by the fact that she had a lawyer because how? She was a typical old woman who owned nothing but a house in a township. From what I know, the house we lived in and every other house there were given to mine laborers by their employers. And when they died, which they all did, sometimes in their 40s, and for those lucky enough to have strong immune systems, soon after they retired, the houses were inherited by their widows. My grandmother didn't talk about her husband at all. If my sister, her first grandchild, was alive today, she'd be 40. Grandmother died at 88. I don't know how old my mother was when she had Gertrude, but she must have been young. My meeting with the lawyer wasn't anything to write home about. He just handed me documents for this house, which I already knew about. He gave me a title deed for the house in Cullinan, but told me I'd have to go to the municipal offices to get one for this house. He must have seen the dreadful look on my face because he immediately assured me that the house was definitely mine. It was just that my grandmother never fetched the title deed from the De Deer offices. Also, I can't sell it without the title deed, so I have no choice but to sit in a queue all day tomorrow. Kutulo is here. His girl said he was going to send someone. As soon as he parks on the yard, I get out of my car and march towards his bakkie, where about 20 liters of water are at the back. I wonder how much I'm going to have to pay him for this water. Elsie, he says, already taking 2 of them out of the car at once. He calls me Elsie. His girlfriend calls me Sissy. They both mean the same thing, sister. I want to help, but when I try pick one up, it is too heavy, so I give up and follow him inside the house. The ladies go outside to the bakkie, and I watch how they effortlessly carry the water inside. The 4 bedrooms are already clean, except the floors that still need to be mopped. I guess they were right about working together. A pile of things are on the passage, clothes mostly. I see a few coats, shoes, and trousers. These are all men's clothes? I ask, to no one in particular. Yes, all of them, Dineo says. I don't like the way she and Kutulo keep exchanging looks, but I do have an idea what the look is about. Well, I won't be needing them, obviously. They've been sitting here for years anyway, so they probably have bugs or holes on them. I say, although they look pretty wearable. Kutulo nods. Or I could have them washed and give them to that crazy guy outside the farm store. I catch them exchanging looks again, and I must admit it is starting to irritate me. It's fine, I'll load them in the bakkie and everything else you want to throw away. Jumanji doesn't need any clothes. He definitely does, because those rags he was wearing smelled like a dead dog. I watch as Kutulo makes 4 trips from the house to his car, loading all the clothes and blankets in it. He must take the beds and this ancient furniture too, because the emptier and cleaner the house is, the more attractive it will be to potential buyers. There are people who are fascinated by old farmhouses simply because they were built when quality was more important than budget, and that is why they stay intact for decades. It is only noon, so if Kutulo goes to drop the clothes off somewhere, he can still come back for the furniture. I suggest that, but his girlfriend doesn't look like she approves. I guess she's not about that life of hand-me-downs. I expect Kutulo to drive off immediately, but he doesn't. He stays in the house and helps them by moving furniture as they mop and dust the kitchen, dining room, and sitting room. I opt not to disturb them, so I sit in the car throughout. We agreed that I was going to pay them through Capitec as soon as they finish, and I'm sitting here feeling bad that I complained about the amount they're charging me, because what they are doing really looks like hard work. It is after 3 p.m., and in any normal place, there'd be school children passing by going to their homes, but the gravel road outside my house is completely empty. Not even a car has driven past since I got here. But then I remember, I've only seen 3 houses, all of them more than a kilometer apart since I drove to this house for the first time. This is when it almost hits me that my house is the last one. I do not have a neighbor past this house. There's only that rowdy house across, and at some point I'm going to have to go there and introduce myself, because that's what people are supposed to do. I might even be brave enough to ask why their kids don't go to school. Norma is wiping dust off the cabinet on the passage when I walk past to the back door. She doesn't even look up at me. I'm just glad this house is almost completely clean. Even the stove looks like it works. I notice as I walk past the kitchen that Kutulo and Dineo are in there, cleaning, open cupboards together. It is so sweet that he is helping her with the work. Again, as I walk out the back door, I'm thinking about the little girl and wondering why she hasn't shown up today. The house across is empty, no kids on the yard. This is the first time I see it so quiet. I know they are not from these plots, but maybe they know. I haven't seen any people around here, except for the kids at the house across. Do any people live here at all? I ask the couple. Dineo looks up at me and frowns. It's a very quiet area, Kutulo jumps in. I figured that out, but there should be at least someone walking somewhere on the street. The house across? Dineo asks. Yes, I think the little girl lives there. The little girl? Yes, she was here the day I arrived and yesterday. I'm pretty sure she's from the house across because she looked so unkempt. And she was wearing the same yellow dress both days and had no shoes on. I think something is not right in that house. Those kids seem neglected. I know I'm judging. They are looking at me like I'm judging. And I think I've somehow offended them because maybe this is normal life here. Kids are allowed to be feral as long as they are fed. You saw the little girl in the yellow dress. Dineo again. I nod. Yes, twice. Yesterday and the day before. Does she even go to school? Because she doesn't seem to have a grasp of reality at all. I'm planning to tell them more when they both rush out of the kitchen, grab Noma on the passage, and run out the front door. They get in the car and drive off in high speed. I'm left standing with my mouth open. They left their mops, buckets, and water here. I'd not given them their money too. I'm confused because everything was going well, and they were almost done cleaning. The TV is still not working. When are they going to fix it? I look to my left, and there she is, sitting on the sofa, a very old remote control in her hand. I remember we had one like this at home when I was a kid. When did you get here? I ask. Yes, all the doors have been open all day, but she wasn't here 3 minutes ago. Next, you must fix the stove so we can eat good food. And the TV. Remember how badly we wished we could watch the TV? He never let us. Where is Sissy? Is she coming back too? I don't understand. She's wearing the same yellow dress, barefoot, with that pink stuffed animal, Pinky, under her armpit. Who is Sissy? I ask. That flash of anger in her eyes that I saw yesterday returns. Sissy is brave. You are a crybaby. You're big now. Fix the TV, she says and drops Pinky on the coffee table. She runs off, as usual. She's gone by the time I reach the back door. The kids are back, running all over the yard at the house across. I wonder where they were 10 minutes ago.